See you soon.
I can only assume a lot of your clients have no idea what the word vasectomy is. Is that like when your nicknames Haval the Deballer come into play, so they know who you are and what you do?
Well, I have a couple of slides to explain it to those that don't understand it. So just some basic sort of diagrams to illustrate what happens.
I'd like to see those sometime, maybe after the show.
Absolutely.
Well, how does it feel to be like representing the Asian American community in such a positive light?
Well, you know, it's not to say that there haven't been others that have been representing it well.
Like Gandhi.
Gandhi,
Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King.
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
Absolutely.
I think he was from Africa.
Hard to say.
It is.
But no, it's just good to know you're making a difference and helping the future generations by eliminating those that just shouldn't be there.
Like AJ. And his change on change.
Absolutely.
Inappropriate sign comment he made to me earlier when he heard that you would be on the show. And about Bruce. Alright, let's talk about your work environment. As a respectable doctor, I can only assume you wear scrubs. But I've also heard shocking rumors that you sometimes dress up as Sherlock Holmes with the hat and cloak, and you just have a very large magnifying glass and forceps. Is that true?
Well, sometimes, you know, using a magnifying glass helps if you want to just use like a laser procedure. And in that case...
What do you take like a flashlight and a magnifying glass? To,
absolutely.
like...
Just on a sunny day, it's just a little more...
So you do some of these outside?
Absolutely. It just cauterizes the wound right there for you.
Okay. Are there children around to see like you as a positive image? Like, hey, look at Dad over there. Like...
We do have some job shadows, which we have to be careful that they don't actually cause a shadow over the operation.
You're right, Because then the fire happening in the genital region kind of slows the process.
Yeah, but you know, we have some, you know, we try to reach out and try to, you know, help show that this is a promising field and that really there's...
It's growing.
And shrinking.
And shrinking. So, have you yourself had such a procedure done? And if so, did you perform on yourself or did you have someone else, like a close friend or colleague?
No, I have not had this procedure performed yet, but I felt that really there's no need to have it yet, since I'm in no way approaching any part of my life. Yes.
So you do or do not want some more little Normans in the world?
Well, I feel that eventually there might be a need, if for whatever reason, you know, sadly to say that, you know, this industry there's been a lot of negative press about it and a lot of controversy, which I don't. So it's there hasn't been a lot of growth in this field. So perhaps if there really is no next generation in my profession, I'll just have to go and create my own. Family business.
I was about to ask, do you see yourself more as a family business with you and Nurse Rhodey? Or is it like more of a transition into a corporation where men can walk in, stand still, and just get them chopped right there? Is that like the next step in Haval Norman's career?
I would like it to eventually be. It's hard, and obviously in Southern Economy, expansion is a tough thing to consider. But one of the end goals is to, just have a clinic where you just walk-ins are free and, you know, it's a quick, simple procedure.
Walk-ins are free?
Well, I mean, you're free to walk in.
Oh, free. That's understandable.
Procedure has to have
I don't know if we would have any men having children if it was free.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, you're able to just walk in. The procedure is quick, so you wouldn't have to necessarily schedule an appointment. Because, I mean, obviously people are very busy. If you could just stop by and have it done, we'd be able to appeal to a much wider customer base, I think.
So, not to dog your industry or scare away future customers, but how painful is it?
It's hard to say, but the various estimates have compared it to childbirth. But it's much shorter than childbirth, so in a sense, it's a much less painful.
And it's actually the opposite, if you think about it.
Exactly.
So maybe the endorphins and the pure joy of knowing that they never have to worry about getting a girl pregnant are enough to pull them through as the quick snip goes.
Yeah, some say that they haven't really... There is a potential for pain, but others have said that the sheer surprise of it all has just they don't even notice the pain.
One of your great policies is some people, before, if they call ahead, you can ask if they want it to be a surprise or not. And then what you do is you have Nurse Rhodey come up and talk to them, or have like a picture of like a naked ladies like all over your wall, and they walk up to like, whoa, and then you just get behind him and do it.
Yeah, there's oftentimes, you can do it on a larger scale like that, but even on a smaller scale, usually, just to make sure that they're not focused on and they would of course feel the pain. You just, before their upper procedure, just give them a quick slap to distract them and just go for it. So just a nice way to distract them without any anesthesia needed whatsoever.
What would be your most embarrassing moment in the field?
Well, there was a time when I accidentally gave a business card to a person that turned out not to be a man. But that was a little embarrassing.
Did she end up actually coming in?
She did, but it wasn't anything to be done. So
that's good. Do you feel like you should branch out to women with extra, or?
Well, Rhodey has actually proposed the idea that perhaps, we could expand to provide for women who, unfortunately, due to cancer, have to get vasectomies. And in this case, it's a slightly larger scale, but effectively the same procedure, so there is a chance we could expand into that area.
Personal question, real quick. Nurse Rhodey, one of the fan favorites. A lot of people, they go for your professional skill, and they stay for him.
Yeah.
Do you see him moving on to own his own practice, or do you think you guys are a pair that doesn't need to have a vasectomy?
So far, we do make a very good pair, and there hasn't been anything to come between us yet. But obviously, time will tell. There might be some events, and the future is always unknown. It can be very cutting sometimes.
I understand. This is getting a little bit away from your work, but you normally work in the testicular region.
Yes.
How do you feel about its neighbor? Does it get in the way? Problems?
Yeah, usually there isn't too much of an issue, but sometimes with some patients, you accidentally just cut a piece off, and usually the rest of it's still functional. It recovers and heals fine.
That's why you have that please circumcise policy,
Exactly.
or it may happen on accident.
Yeah.
So
it all works out fine.
Yeah, they're warned. So.
Yeah.
Exciting news, Dr. Haval. I know you've got a new game coming out.
Yes.
It's like Operation. It's got the full person with the big red nose. But they're Asian to represent your culture and your people. The only part you have to get out is the testicles, and you just have to avoid cutting anything else.
Yeah, it's fairly straightforward.
Do you think it's an accurate description of what your job is and how to do it? Like, if I buy this game and succeed in it, could I be the next Mr. Norman? Seeing that would mean I'd marry you, but
I think that there really is a lot of potential. This game does represent one of the sort of training methods. It's not necessarily the same. We've obviously changed it slightly to package it more the general audience. But the procedure itself is rather the same. We use for our occasional students that are trying to learn and work on the technique. It's really quite comparable.
Do you think you'll branch out to video games?
There could be. The hack and slash games aren't very popular.
They are.
So there is potential there.
And then it's also challenging because there's a lot of precision in your math. Especially seeing, like, when you decide that on Wednesdays, they actually do it with darts, like scalpels tied to darts, and then Dr. Haval and Nurse Rhodey stand 10 feet away, and every one they make, they stand an extra foot back.
There are all sorts of ways you can increase the difficulty level, and obviously we have started working on trick shots, so one of which was involving shots. But
Who do you think is better, aiming-wise?
depends on the day. Usually Tuesdays and Thursdays really does better, and on the rest of the days, it depends if it's raining or not.